Have you ever heard of a place so secure, so isolated, that escape is literally considered impossible? Welcome to the Terrorism Confinement Center, or CECOT, in El Salvador. This isn't just any prison. It's a fortress, a megastructure designed to hold up to 40,000 of the country's most dangerous gang members. Opened in early 2023, CECOT represents President Nayib Bukel's iron-fisted war on gangs, a policy that has dramatically reduced the country's once horrific murder rate. But what is life actually like for those inside its walls? Let's take a look behind the steel and concrete. Imagine a city of inmates, a sprawling complex covering 166 hectares, completely isolated from the outside world. To get in, you have to pass through multiple high-security checkpoints. The prison itself is surrounded by an 11-meter-high concrete wall, topped with electrified fencing. Guards patrol from 9 watchtowers, armed and ready. Inside, the facility is a maze of reinforced concrete and steel bars. There are 8 modules, and each one is a self-contained unit. This design is intentional, meant to break up gang structures and prevent communication between different factions. It's a world built to contain, control, and crush the very essence of the gang culture that once terrorized El Salvador. The daily routine for an inmate at CECOT is monotonous and severe. There are no recreational areas like basketball courts or gyms. Contact with the outside world is virtually non-existent. Family visits are heavily restricted, and there's no access to phones, computers, or even television. The idea is total isolation, not just from society, but from each other. Inmates are housed in crowded cells, with around 80 men sharing a space equipped with tiered metal bunks. There are only 2 sinks and 2 toilets for all of them. This is a far cry from the image of prisons we often see in movies. It's a stark, minimalist existence designed to break the spirit. Let's talk about the cells themselves. They are solid concrete boxes. The only light comes from a curved steel sheet at the top, preventing any direct view of the sky. This architectural choice is deliberate, designed to disorient and disconnect prisoners from the natural world. Food is delivered through a small slot in the steel door. Meals are basic rice, beans, hard-boiled eggs. There's no comfort here, only sustenance. The government's stance is clear. These are not country clubs. They are places of punishment for those who have committed terrible crimes. The inmates, many of whom are members of notorious gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18, are kept under constant surveillance. When inmates are moved, it's a major operation. They are stripped down to white shorts, their hands cuffed behind their backs. They are forced to run, hunched over, from their cells to processing areas or medical checks. This display of absolute authority is a common sight. It's often filmed and shared by the government to project an image of strength and control. Every inmate has a shaved head and is covered in tattoos, a visual testament to their past lives and allegiances. But inside CECOT, those tattoos mean nothing. The prison strips away their former identities, reducing them to numbers in a system. The war on gangs that led to CECO's creation began in March 2022. Following a brutal wave of violence that saw 87 people killed in a single weekend, President Bukel declared a state of emergency, suspending certain constitutional rights to make it easier to arrest suspected gang members. Since then, over 80,000 people have been detained. This crackdown has been incredibly popular within El Salvador. For decades, citizens lived in fear, extorted by gangs, and afraid to even cross neighborhood lines. Now, many feel a sense of freedom they haven't experienced in years. The streets are safer. Businesses no longer have to pay protection money, and children can play outside without fear. However, this success story has a darker side. Human rights organizations have raised serious concerns. They argue that the state of emergency has led to arbitrary arrests, with thousands of innocent people potentially swept up in the dragnet. Reports from former inmates and human rights groups paint a grim picture of conditions inside the country's overflowing prisons, including CECOT. Allegations include severe overcrowding, lack of adequate food and medical care, and even torture. The government has largely dismissed these criticisms, framing them as interference from outsiders who don't understand the reality of fighting entities as violent as MS-13. The guards at CECOT are a key part of the system. A force of 600 soldiers and 250 police officers ensures security around the clock. They are trained to show no empathy. Their mission is to maintain order and prevent any form of communication or organization among the inmates. The technological infrastructure is also impressive. Scanners for visitors, blocked cell phone signals, and constant electronic surveillance make the prison a true digital fortress. Any attempt to smuggle contraband or communicate with the outside world is immediately detected and shut down. It's a high-tech approach to an age-old problem. So, is CECOT the answer? For many Salvadorans, the peace they now enjoy is worth the price. They see the prison as a necessary tool to reclaim their country from the grip of terror. President Bukel's approval ratings have soared, and his tough crime approach has become a model that some other Latin American leaders are looking to emulate. They argued that traditional methods of rehabilitation have failed, and that, for hardened criminals, only a system of total control can work. The message is simple: if you terrorize society, you will be removed from it permanently. But for critics, CECOT is a symbol of a worrying trend towards authoritarianism. They fear that in the rush to achieve security, fundamental human rights are being trampled. They point to the lack of due process, the inhumane conditions, and the potential for innocent people to be caught in the crossfire. The debate raises profound questions. What is the true cost of safety? Can a society sacrifice liberty for security and still call itself free? There are no easy answers, and the legacy of CECOT will likely be debated for decades to come. It stands as a powerful and controversial monument to one nation's desperate fight for survival. What do you think? Is CECOT a necessary evil or a human rights disaster? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this exploration into El Salvador's mega prison interesting, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into complex global issues. See you in the next one.